From the Whiskey Tangent Studios in Marlton, New Jersey, this is Whiskey Tangent News.
Hey everybody, it's Ed from the Whiskey Tangent Podcast here with another episode of Whiskey News.
Woo!
And joining me as always is Scott.
Hey everybody.
I'm going to tell you what we got going for you this month. We have 7 news stories. 4 will be of the industry news variety. 1 will be science and health. Boo health.
Boo science.
No, yay science, boo health.
Okay.
Then 2 will be the ever-popular true crime. Then we'll tell you about 16 new whiskeys that you can buy. And then what's coming up next year on the podcast as we enter, what is it, year 33 of the podcast or something? I think it's at 7, maybe?
Sometimes it feels that way.
Year 7?
Year 7, yes. Coming into.
My body's aged 4 years for each. A podcast year is 4 normal years
I know.
from all the drinking.
I know. All right, so it is December 2025, and here's all the news that's fit to drink. Breaking news. Hey everybody, it's Scott here in the editing booth with some breaking news. Sometimes between the recording and the release of our news episodes, a major story comes out, and this is one of those times. Usually we'll just let it go to the next news episode, but this story was just too big not to mention here. And so from CBS News, Jim Beam to pause production in 2026. Jim Beam, which is owned by a U.S. subsidiary of Japan's Suntory Holdings, said that its main distillery in Claremont, Kentucky will temporarily halt production starting January 1st, 2026, while they, quote, take the opportunity to invest in site enhancements. The pause comes amid several challenges in the wine and spirits industry, as we've talked about on the podcast before, and will again in just a few minutes. Not only are Americans drinking less overall, exports of U.S.-produced spirits have fallen 9% overall, with exports to Canada declining by 85%. However, with the company planning to keep open its James B. Beam Claremont campus for visitors, its Fred B. No Craft Distillery also in Claremont, and its larger Booker No Distillery in Boston, Kentucky, whiskey connoisseurs will likely not have to worry about supplies running low. According to the Kentucky Distillers Association, Kentucky warehouses, including those owned by Jim Beam, now hold a record 16.1 million barrels of aging bourbon, which marks the highest level since the repeal of Prohibition and a 27% increase over 2024. Now, obviously, this is a huge story and the one that we'll follow up on in the new year. But for now, I'll return you to our previously scheduled news stories. In industry news, from the Lexington Herald-Ledger, Brown-Forman profits down nearly $60 million. The whiskey trade war hangover remains as sales and profits for one of the biggest American whiskey brands in the world and the parent of Jack Daniel's continues to fall. As we've discussed a few times already, much of the decline has been due to Canada's continued boycott of American spirits in the wake of dubious tariff policies. However, sales in the U.S. also fell, which is not only a sign of further economic uncertainty for Jack Daniel's, but also a bellwether for the spirits industry as a whole.
True.
Kentucky-based Brown-Forman reported that sales for the quarter ending October 31st fell 5% compared with the same period last year, and sales for the fiscal year 2025 are down 4% overall. Worse, however, profits fell 14% for the quarter and 13% overall, equating to just over $59 million. As Lawson Whiting, Brown-Forman's president and CEO, said, our latest quarter results reflect a continuation of the themes we saw in the previous quarter and unfolded largely as we expected. And the fiscal year 2026 outlook is expected to remain challenging, with low visibility due to macroeconomic and geopolitical volatility as we face headwinds from consumer uncertainty and other factors. Indeed, net sales and operating income are expected to continue to decline for the entirety of 2026. And although there have been some bright spots, including the launch of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Blackberry, higher sales of Woodford Reserve, and consumers embracing their lineup of ready-to-drink cocktails, it hasn't been enough to offset the declining sales of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey and Tennessee Honey. Whiting also pointed to a shift in consumer spending, which showed an increase for the first time in what's called trade down. That is when a consumer used to buy at the 100 plus level, but now buys at the 50 to 100 level or even lower, a trend that has strengthened significantly just in the past 6 months. Additionally, with a slowdown in spirits having become a global phenomenon, sales of used whiskey barrels to foreign whiskey producers, which is a significant portion of Brown-Forman's business, have also fallen 60% over the past year.
Right, but I just want to break something down real quick. Net income figures for the year of 2025 was $869 million. Down from last year's $1,024. Okay, significant. But in 2023, they only did $783 million.
Right.
So if we flip these 2 years, they would have gone up quite a bit between 23 and 24. Go back to 2021, we did 903 million. And then in 2022, they did 838 million, less than we did this year. I said we as if I'm part of Brown-Forman. But I'm just saying.
You'd like to be.
All right, I would. They did 783 million in 2023. Then a huge burst.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know why this. You can cook the books different ways. But they did over $1 billion last year.
Right.
And then in 2025, they're down to 869. Everyone's aghast. But of the 5 previous years, this would be the third highest total. So, yes, I'm sure the tariffs have hurt tremendously. And yes, I'm not ignoring that there's a contraction in the bourbon market of America, nor am I ignoring that with Canada being our number one spirits partner and them not selling our spirits for the last 6 months, that's not hurting. Of course it is. But it doesn't mean that the product's bad. It really doesn't mean that our plan's bad. It means that we didn't get along nice with Canada and they're punishing us right now. So this is punitive. It's not natural economic conditions, Scott, is what I'm saying. You understand?
Well, the sales also went down in the United States, too.
Right.
So what you're saying, though, is, I don't want to say problem with capitalism, but it's the idea that you have to make profits year over year, again and again, increasing 10% over 10% over 10%. And that's just not sustainable in the industry that we're in now. But really, the last paragraph of that was most worrying to me, was that the 60% of their barrel business has fallen, selling barrels overseas to Scotch and Irish and Japanese.
Right.
That's a significant decrease.
So is that showing a decrease in the international whiskey market?
Yes. Yes. So that's actually the follow-up article I have here. From VinePair, Irish whiskey needs to evolve. After a decade and a half of spectacular growth, like Ed was saying, mostly fueled by exports to the United States, the Irish whiskey industry has been going through some things. Headlines have described the situation in stark terms with, for example, Bloomberg writing recently, quote, Irish whiskey makers crumble under U.S. trade tariffs, and the Irish Independent following up with backers fear that the liquid gold bubble has burst. Then a few weeks later, the Irish Times asked if the heat has gone out of the industry. In addition, operating costs in Ireland have also risen dramatically. 10 years ago, the cost of a barrel was $75, and 1 ton of grain cost less than $500. Now a barrel costs $300, and grain recently topped out at $1,300 a ton. Factor in energy prices doubling as well, and there just aren't that many businesses that can survive such a radical change. And indeed, several high-profile Irish whiskey makers have shut down in the past year, including Waterford in November and Killarney in July. In fact, over 90% of the 50-plus Irish distillers have paused or reduced production this year. But beyond cutting costs and improving cash flow, what can distillers do? Well, they can look for new customers. And many are doing just that by holding events in previously untapped markets like Mexico, India, and Nigeria, all of which have huge numbers of people under 30 who are willing to try new spirits. And because Ireland is part of the EU, traditional old world countries like Poland and Germany are seeing gains as well. So for insiders, and Ed, the reports of doom and gloom are worrying, but at least they're not quite as bad as when Ireland had only 2 working distilleries for about half a century.
So yes, so Ireland and Scotland took 60% less barrels from Jack Daniels than they previously did in Japan. It could be the fact that everyone's seeing the contraction in the market, so they decided to not store new whiskey.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean that Ireland is going to run out of whiskey. Like everybody else, they over-barreled. So once again, Brown-Forman's down 60%, but they don't tell you how much their barrels went up. I bet if we go over the last 5 years, their barrels have gone up 60% in sales.
1 billion barrels.
Right, and then they come back down to where they were 5 years ago, and it's a disaster.
Right.
Just like we were bottling too much whiskey.
Yes.
They had to be doing the same.
Sure.
And now as there's a slowdown in the market because of tariffs and Canada and a natural contraction of people drinking whiskey, which, I don't know, I think we decided that tequila was kind of coming up and taking a little bit of the...
It's definitely a thing,
rum in the summer, and vodka's always been there for those people that just want to get drunk with their drink tasting like fruit.
Right. Or nothing.
Right. They just want the alcohol to just be there and not care about the flavor.
To wash over their soul.
That's right. Right. To just wash away the darkness.
All right. So the next one we have is from KentuckyLiving.com. WhistlePig opens Whiskey Row experience.
Interesting.
Yeah. Known for leading the rye revolution, or as we called it here on the podcast, Ryesurgence! And pushing the boundaries of American whiskey, WhistlePig is bringing a bold new experience to Kentucky, having transformed the historic Louisville Security Bank into the WhistlePig Vault, an immersive whiskey destination built to shake up the traditional Bourbon Trail visit. Located at 403 East Market Street at the eastern end of the famed Whiskey Row, the Vault invites guests into a striking blend of history, hospitality, and hands-on whiskey exploration. Although the brand is headquartered in rural Vermont, WhistlePig's arrival in Louisville is deeply symbolic, as its roots trace back to Kentucky through their founding master distiller, the late Dave Pickerel, which, in the words of CEO Charles Gibb,
Not Barry Gibb.
Not Barry Gibb. Represents, quote, a full circle moment for us. We've always made our own rules, and now we get to share that spirit directly with Bourbon Country. Among the highlights of the experience are the Whiskey Exchange, where you can dip and seal and stamp your own WhistlePig 10 Piggy Bank Rye limited edition bottles, the Mezzanine Blending Room, where you can join private and shared tastings, and the Bank Lobby Bar, where you can enjoy signature cocktails delivered through a pneumatic tube. For more information, you can visit whistlepigthevault.com.
I think that's going to be interesting because do they really want some Yankee distillers setting up on their row, from Vermont?
Yeah, here's the outside. That's what it looks like, the bank.
Oh, it's super cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Just look up WhistlePig Vault and you'll find a picture of it.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It's literally a bank.
Like a cool bank, like an old school bank.
Old school with the ionic columns and everything.
Nice.
I wish they were there when we went. Yeah. We would have gone to visit them. That would be super
right
cool.
There. We might have gone right by that bank.
We probably did.
Probably did.
We were definitely on that street. Mm-hmm. Up and down that street. We went to a number of places on Whiskey Row. Okay, so for the fourth and final story in industry news, Whiskey Advocate has put out their top 20 whiskeys of 2025.
Oh, that's exciting.
We're not going to go all 20 as usual. We'll just do ones that were relevant to the podcast and then top 5.
Okay.
Number 17, Lux Row, PX Sherry Cask Bourbon. Did we have that when we were there? I couldn't remember.
Possible. Either in the gift shop or in the tasting.
Yeah. Number 16, Stranahan's 12-year Mountain Angel Port Cask.
Oh.
We did not have that.
No.
We had other delicious expressions on the Stranahan's episode.
Yes.
I think that was 86. Number 13, Cedar Ridge Quintessential Special Release number 5, which is what we're happen to be sipping on right now because we did a quick taste over the summer. Mm-hmm. It's quite good.
Yeah, it's very good. We're actually finishing the bottle.
Yeah. Number 11, Bardstown Bourbon Company Collaborative Series Ferrand 2 Cognac Cask Finished Whiskey.
Nice.
We just went to a Bardstown tasting at the lounge.
Yes.
It was free. We tasted, 10?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Well, it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
It got out of hand.
A little bit.
It was 8.
It was 8 originally, right?
No, it was 6 originally.
You sure?
I'm not. I think it was 9.
I think there was 4 Green River and then 4 Bardstown, and she brought 2 more out.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Yeah.
It was 10. Who does that?
I know.
It's crazy.
Oh, my God. They did have food, though. It was good.
Yeah, they had food, but, they made us.
They
made us drink 10 whiskeys.
Number 7, Sagamore Spirit 10-year Reserve Series. And number 6, I didn't know that they had this, Jefferson's Reserve Limited Edition Cask Strength, 130 proof.
Yeah, I didn't know Jefferson's was doing anything interesting like that.
No, I did not know. Okay, so here's the top 5. Compass Box Flaming Heart 25th Anniversary Edition. That's a Scotch. New Riff Bottled and Bond Balboa Rye, their 2025 edition. We tasted, I think, the 2023 edition on the podcast when we did it a couple years ago.
I had the 2024 also.
Did you?
Yeah.
Balboa is a type of rye grain that
I think it's like $60 too. It's like the most expensive New Riff.
Yeah. Number 3 is Maker's Mark Cellar Aged. Number 2 is Oban, another Scotch, 15-year Oloroso and Palo Cortado, finished cask strength, single malt. And the number 1, a little controversial from what I saw on Reddit, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Rye, A925. Just newly released.
That's so strange.
They loved it. It was their top scorer, and people were like, I know other ryes are a lot better than that, so it's kind of controversial.
While we're speaking of ryes real quick, I shared an experience I had with Scott.
I
had a Willett Family Estate rye, one of their regular 4 years. It's about $60 a bottle. I pulled it out of my closet. It was open. I drank it, and, I started thinking, I don't think I like this as much as I used to like it. I used to love it.
There wasn't much left, right? It was
about a third of a bottle.
Oh, okay.
Right? And I'm like, the finish is really kind of off-putting. It's like a little bit of a sour note. I don't remember that. The beginning's really good, and then it just kind of ends off, almost like one of those Pennsylvania ryes that I find a little off-putting sometimes.
Right, young ones, yeah.
But I used to love this. I used to seek it out. I'm like, I can't believe that this is what it tastes like. I said, maybe the bottle was open too long. Could have been over 2 years. I'm like, so I had another one unopened. So I popped it open, and the finish was delicious, brown sugar and cinnamon. It was a wonderful dram. It was exactly what I remembered. And it's just another lesson, guys. We all like to keep stuff around. We hate to kill a bottle, but it's better to drink the bottle in a timely fashion where you can enjoy it for all its great elements than keep it around. I've basically ruined a third of a bottle of a really good whiskey by just not getting back to it soon enough.
Yeah.
I kept it in a dark closet, just like they say, standing up.
Yeah.
But what Scott pointed out was, if you do want to save that half a bottle or whatever, then put your whiskeys into ever descending volume bottles. So if I'd switched it to like a 375, because it's the air inside the bottle, the oxidation that kills the flavor. So
my friend Bill sent me a Instagram post from some guy who in the industry, and he was saying it's not the evaporation, it's the oxidation, and to get smaller and smaller decanters, like just to pour your stuff in.
If you had like a 375, a 250, a 200 milliliter, 100 milliliter, it'll last longer. Yeah. Now my counterpoint is just drink it faster. Is what I should have done.
That's what I do, Ed.
Right, that's what Scott does. Scott has no oxidation problems at all, unless it happens in your stomach.
It doesn't get that far. I know. Okay, so the next category we have is science and health. From the New York Post, via Apple News, via Siobhan sending this, the mint that fights binge drinking. There's a new way to treat alcoholism, and it's as easy as popping a candy. Made by a company called OR Health, OAR. Clutch, no relation to the band, which Ed and I saw this summer.
Please allow me to adjust my pants so that I may dance the good time dance and put the onlookers and innocent bystanders into a trance. Give the seas or the swine who marry and propagate.
Said to be the first mint designed to reduce alcohol cravings and curb heavy drinking. The novel treatment is a special formulation
of... drinking when you're heavy? Or drinking a lot, like a heavy drinking?
Drinking heavily.
Oh, okay. Not being heavy in drinking.
No, not specifically.
I can't see how a mint could stop that. That seems like lifestyle changes and honestly, and family genetics.
Honestly, I think it's both.
Okay. So reread that sentence again.
The first mint designed to reduce alcohol cravings and curb drinking in excessive amounts. How's that? The novel treatment is a special formulation of naltrexone, a prescription-only medication that addresses alcohol and opioid abuse by blocking receptors in the brain to reduce dopamine reward that people get from drinking. But the mechanism is as much psychological as it is biochemical, because when alcohol no longer has the same satisfying feeling, it can make it easier to cut consumption. Said OR Health founder and CEO Jonathan Hunt Glassman, while the classic formulation of naltrexone is a great option, we've learned that some people need a discrete option that they can use in the moments when alcohol is most difficult to avoid, empowering them to take back control. Nearly 28 million Americans struggle with alcohol use disorder, and adults who are prescribed Clutch.
Everybody move to Canada, smoke lots of pot. Everybody move to Canada right now. Here's how we do it. Bum rush the border God before he and his dog ever knew it.
Can take it once a day, and since it dissolves under the tongue in less than a minute, the medication bypasses the digestive system and is absorbed directly into the bloodstream, causing fewer side effects such as nausea and upset stomach. And most interestingly, taking the mints doesn't require abstention from alcohol, and they can actually be taken right before enjoying a night out, which may make it more accessible and appealing to a wider range of people.
Right, because some of the other medicines make you sick when you drink, right? That's their thing.
Yeah.
Like the heroin drug does that, right? If you...
Like if I can't remember what that's called.
Or you get violently ill or something. And I think there's some medicines where if you consume alcohol, it makes you violently ill. So that's so you really can't drink.
Right, and this, you can just drink it, and it will apparently make you drink less.
Well, the challenge accepted.
That's right.
Somebody score me a clutch, and let's see. I'll go out the Friday before, and then I'll go out the next Friday,
we'll
the week
test
later.
It. I would love to test it. So here's how you get it. Those who want to try Clutch need to complete an online consultation with an OR professional who will write a prescription and treatment plan if appropriate. OR charges $50 for the consultation, while a 3-month subscription membership is $297. For more information, you can visit orhealth.com.
Can you picture my questionnaire? Do you drink? Yes. How much do you drink at a time? I don't know, sometimes 8-9 drinks at a time. Is that beer? Or you're counting beers? Yeah. Oh, shit.
All right, so everybody's favorite topic, true crime.
True crime.
Now, there's a couple question marks after true crime here in this installment, because these aren't quite crimes. They feel like true crime, but they're not actual crimes. I will explain. From Alabama.com, country star hospitalized after wild trip to L.A. Award-winning country music writing and recording artist Billy Don Burns, whose songs have been recorded by the likes of Johnny Paycheck, Connie Smith, and Willie Nelson, was hospitalized after he mixed whiskey and cocaine and then repeatedly stabbed himself with a pocket knife late last month while visiting Los Angeles. He later explained the incident in the following rambling Facebook post, which he wrote...
I thought you were going to say long rambling song that he wrote. Here's why I stabbed myself the other day when I was in Vegas.
Yeah, maybe you will. Maybe you will. Rambling Facebook post, which he wrote from his hospital bed. So I jump on an American Airlines flight, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 days ago. I lost track of time. I fly to Dallas and then from Dallas to East LA. Now, anyone out there who knows me knows that I'm anything other than the average cat. So I get out there to California to get my car. Johnny Rotten picks me up at the airport, but I left his house because he had his girlfriend there and I knew that he didn't like me bringing any cocaine or all that. So I found me some cocaine and I get messed up, man. It really takes me way out there. I ran over a big concrete thing and tore up my car. I hadn't even drove it 10 miles. So I walked to a liquor store, which is not even 12 to 15 minutes there and back to get to my car. I left my phone and this son of a bitch stole it. So when you don't have a phone in a strange land and you don't have a car, you're pretty much fucked. So I started shooting the drugs. Like you do. But instead of putting water in the spoon, I started using whiskey. I was shooting Jim Beam and cocaine. I'm out of my head, man. I decided, why don't you just kill yourself, Billy? So I stabbed myself 3 times, but there was actually about 4 or 5. I didn't remember the other 2, but I bled. I know I bled over a pint on one of the cuts. Anyway, they rushed me to Arrowhead Regional Medical Center in Colton, California. They put me on the 4th floor, which is a lockdown floor. I'm hoping I get out of here in the next few days. It's pretty crazy shit, man. Everyone pray for me. Isn't that insane?
That's phenomenal.
Isn't it? It's so good. It's not a crime, though, right?
No, it's... Well,
he bought drugs.
Well, there's crimes in there.
Yeah, there's crimes in there.
There's crime in there somewhere, for sure.
Somewhere. And somebody stole his phone.
It's right. There's a theft of a phone.
Right.
I mean, the whole life sounds a little bit like a crime right now.
I know, my God.
But, like, you know what's funny? If that happens to, like, the VP of Bank of America, you're done.
Right.
But a musician, he would go platinum right now if he was a rapper with that story.
No doubt. All right, so the next story, the last story we have before we get to the whiskeys.
I love that one.
Yeah, no, isn't that great? This one might be my favorite ever.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Better than the guy that broke into the bar and ate the tins of beef and then drank the bottle and then passed out in the bar.
Yes, this is very similar to that.
All right. Because he could have just taken it all with him and done it anywhere and not got caught.
This is better for one specific reason.
Okay.
Okay, ready? From the New York Times, drunk ne'er-do-well wreaks havoc in Virginia liquor store. Just a few weeks ago in Ashland, Virginia, an individual broke through a liquor store ceiling, drank his fill of vodka, rum, moonshine, and peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, shit.
And finally triggered the security system. When police arrived on the scene, they found a mess of broken glass and spilled liquor. Following the trail of destruction to the liquor store's bathroom, an officer approached cautiously and, hearing only soft breathing, opened the door and found a raccoon face down on the floor, passed out, whereupon animal control officials were called.
So the raccoon broke in and just drank his fill.
Yeah, just broke bottles and started drinking.
He got all types of fucked up.
Oh, Hanover County Animal Protection Chief Jeff Parker said his department frequently deals with sick and injured raccoons, but this was something different. It was a little good humor, he said. I thought we ought to put it on social media. I had no idea it would go national or even worldwide. It's fantastic. As for the furry little criminal himself, the raccoon's hangover lasted about an hour and a half, during which he was checked for injuries. He then awoke and was taken to a nearby woodland and safely released back into the wild.
They're like, oh, hey, Charlie's back. Charlie.
Have I got a story for you?
And then he just puts up the same Facebook post that country singer does on, like, Raccoon Facebook or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I fell through the ceiling. And I was like, well, I hurt my paw, so I wanted something to dip my paw in without before I knew it. And then he goes, hey, do you know there was peanut butter whiskey? Did you know that?
Did you know that? It's fucking delicious. Hey, have you heard of what happened to Billy Don Burns? That guy's crazy.
Yeah, I was a roadie for him.
Oh my God, so funny.
And the media goes like, quite a fall since Guardian of the Galaxy.
Oh, shit. All right, so the next thing we do on the podcast is what whiskeys you can buy this month. Well, it's actually 2 months because it's been since October since we did the news. So the first one is Barrell Dovetail Toasted.
Ooh.
Interesting. Barrell Craft Spirits has introduced a higher-end version of its core range Dovetail whiskey as part of its Black Label series. It's the original recipe, a blend of whiskeys from Indiana and Tennessee that undergoes finishes in rum, port, and California Cabernet casks, and then spends an additional 33 months in toasted American oak. It's 123.8 proof, no age statement, no mash bill. Vanilla bean, honeycomb, caramelized sugar, dark cherry, fig, cocoa, roasted marshmallow, toffee, baking spice, toasted hazelnut, coconut, leather, sweet tobacco, and jammy fruit. $200. Those are their tasting notes, by the way.
They sound like they're really getting themselves under control. Maybe they've finally taken our constructive criticism seriously.
That's right. It's like, maybe those whiskey tans you guys had a point.
Yeah. At that proof, I bet it gives you a real nice Kentucky hug. You know what I mean, Scott?
It does.
Almost.
Not a
No.
No.
Not a Kentucky
right.
That would be inappropriate.
Right.
We would never say that.
That sounds pretty good, though, because
Yes.
we really like the Dovetail, and it's one of their best expressions.
But once again, talk about not taking a temperature of the
I know,
climate.
$200.
At 150, we would sit there and go, we could do that, right?
Yeah.
We'll
200, no, we're not buying it.
Right. We'll get Gabe to come in. We all throw 50 in. We split the bottle up.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting together next week to literally hang out for our Christmas bourbon day.
Yeah.
We exchange presents and we do some quick tastes and just overall joy and
Good guy time.
Jocularity. Jocularity, yeah. Just for good old fashioned jocularity.
Okay, so next one is Booker's Batch 2025-04.
That's what we have to do in other Bookers.
Yeah, we do.
haven't done Bookers in years, and they're changed, and they evolve.
they're all different.
It's been a year since I bought a Booker's because, we got into the little books and we're drinking all them. But,
Yeah.
But Booker's is still the most consistent, high-proof bourbon on the market.
Yeah, and if you're not really into Booker's stuff, you forget that it is high proof.
Yeah.
They select the barrels from different places in the rick houses, and they tell you exactly where they get it from.
And once again, I don't know what this bottle of Booker's is, but Booker's has done its best to stay around 100 to 115, you know, while everybody else was losing their mind. Like you just saw Dovetail 200.
Yeah. All right, so this one is the 2025-04. It's the Phantom Pipes batch. This year's final batch of Booker's is a blend of barrels from 5 different production dates, with the youngest barrels of the bunch coming in at 7 years old. The whiskey's name comes from the time when a maze of pipes that led nowhere were discovered in the rafters of Beam's Booker No Distillery in Boston, Kentucky. The result of the late master distiller's ceaseless tinkering around the distillery. It's 126.4 proof, 7 years, 6 months, 15 days aged, 77 corn, 13 rye, 10 malted barley, dark brown sugar, peanut brittle, toasted cinnamon, leather molasses, dried fruit, warm baking spices, caramel toffee, smoked vanilla, dark chocolate, sweet tobacco, and honeyed oak. $100.
I'm going to buy that one if I can find it.
Yeah, it's really
and we'll try it on here.
Sounds delicious.
We'll try it on the new year over here. Okay?
All right. Next one we have is actually two from Castle and Key. First, we have their Cask Strength Weeded Bourbon. This is their flagship 5-year weeder, aged an additional 2 years and bottled at Cask Strength. It's 105.8 proof, 7 years aged, 73 corn, 10% white winter wheat, 17% malted barley, orange zest, bruleed peach, pound cake, baked nutmeg, pastry dough, red apple, light peppercorn, mango, roasted walnut, sage, oatmeal cinnamon cookie, dried cherry, and chai. $60.
I love all the tasting notes they just gave us, and $60 for a Cask Strength weeder.
Yeah, we need to explore Castle and Key stuff.
Can we write that down
more.
too? That has to be the Scott's buying.
It's
that
already
one.
there. Okay.
Scott's buying that one.
All right.
All right. You notice I'm buying the $100 one. He bought the 61. It just falls out for him like that. He's like that Seinfeld episode where like he loses a 20, then he puts his hand in an old jacket and he gets a 20. Everything works out okay for me.
Well, I did already write it down.
Right. Yes.
It's already here. We already have it.
Yeah, but everything's written down. We got to find a way to pull it out so we actually get it.
All right, I'll send you an email.
Yeah.
All right. There.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
The second one is extra old Haitian rum cask rye.
Haitian?
Haitian. Don't be hating.
Don't
be Haitian.
I've never heard of a Haitian rum on the market.
Oh, yeah. This is part of their experimental series of whiskeys that tests new boundaries with unique barrel finishes, blends, and mash bills. Only 1,800 cases were produced.
You can really taste the zombies.
You can taste the zombies. Zombie! Zombie! All right, it's 116.1 proof. It's 3 years aged plus 18 months in the Haitian rum cask. It's 63% corn, 17% rye, 20% malted barley. Spiced molasses, grilled pineapple, dried banana, black pepper, fresh mint, toasted grain, dark honey, candied ginger, plantain, toasted coconut, cloves, cinnamon, grassy rum funk, dry oak tannins, and rye spice. That's $65.
Wow.
I know, right? That's why we have to get into Castle and Key, because they make good, cheap stuff.
I mean, we really haven't explored that much. I know I haven't had much of it.
I haven't either. I might have had maybe one expression.
Like their main basic expression.
Yeah, whatever that was. I don't even remember. The next one we have is Jack Daniel's Tanyard Hill Rye. One of Jack Daniel's biggest stars over the past few years has been their Coy Hill brand, which takes the classic Jack Daniel's recipe and cranked up the proof to hazmat levels on single barrels aged atop Coy Hill, the highest point of the distillery's campus. For this new expression, as the name suggests, the barrels were aged on Tanyard Hill, an area that contains some of Jack Daniel's oldest standing rickhouses. It's between 130.2 and 148.8 proof. 10 years aged, 70 rye, 18 corn, 12 malted barley. Dark fruits, black cherry, raisin, apple peel, banana, cinnamon, dark chocolate, clove, tobacco, leather, and brown sugar. What do you think this costs?
$225.
$80.
What?
Now, can you get a bottle for under $125?
Okay.
I don't know, but the MSRP is $80.
Well, we can look for that in New Jersey. Yeah. It might not have brought it here, you know?
I know. All right, next up, we have 6 from Lost Lantern. Lost Lantern put out another collection.
Oh.
The award-winning independent bottler of American whiskey has announced its fall 2025 release. We're a little late on this. Sorry, everyone. The Scotch Lovers Collection, a deep dive into American single malt with 2 blends and 5 single barrels. And just go through this really quickly. American Vatted Malt Reissue. This is returned to their original 2020 release, which we tasted and talked to them about it back in 2020. Honoring the whiskey that began the company's journey, that's $90. The American Vatted Malt Remix, which is a bold new edition of that whiskey, which blends single malts from 11 different distilleries across 8 states. That's $100. Warfield Idaho Single Malt, the first Idaho release from a distillery known for using traditional Scottish pot stills, ideal for fans of Speyside and lowland whiskeys. That's also $100. 888 Peated Massachusetts Single Malt, the first peated whiskey from the Nantucket-based 888 Distillery, ideal for fans of Scottish Island whiskeys. That's $120. The 888 10-Year, a decade-old single cask showcasing the distillery's patient maritime influence, aging, ideal for fans of Speyside and Highland whiskeys. That's $150. The 888 11-Year Single Malt, their oldest whiskey to date, and it first matured in ex-Sauterne casks, ideal for Highland whiskey fans. That's $180. And then a McCarthy's 10-Year Peated Oregon Single Malt, the first 10-year-old release from America's original single malt distillery, ideal for Islay fans, $150.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
We didn't have time to get involved in that collection?
No, they sent an email, but we had already planned out all our fall, and we were drinking so much.
Did you send back an email thank you? And we were just...
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Just we couldn't get to it this time.
Because they're always super good to us.
They've been the best to us of any distiller.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We love Lost Lantern, and they've never disappointed. They've always come out with the best product.
Yeah, I bet all of those are wonderful.
First of all, what happens is this. I mean, Lost Lantern gets their money back on us because they send us these great samples, and then we order 1 or 2 bottles from that collection.
Yeah. For sure. At the very least, they get us to buy some of their bottles.
Exactly. Right.
So the next one we have is another edition from Penelope, not a bottled cocktail. This one's called Penelope Fuck Cancer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. First launched in 2022, this is the 4th in their annual series that partners with the nonprofit cancer charity F Cancer, to whom they have committed $500,000 to support the organization and its mission to make a meaningful impact in the fight against cancer. Each bottle label also features a QR code that directs consumers to a donation page. It's 94 proof, 6 years aged, 58% corn, 37% rye, 2% malted rye, and 3% malted barley. Orange zest, pear, caramel, white pepper, citrus, allspice, brown sugar, and apricot. That's $80.
Yes. Wouldn't look up the bottle.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Kind of crazy looking bottle,
So they have a FU, and then they have like a cancer ribbon for the CK, the way the ribbon is.
Right. Right. It doesn't actually say fuck on the bottle.
It does, though. I mean, if you look at distance, it looks like a ribbon, but if you zoom in real close, it kind of spells fuck.
I know. It's pretty genius.
Yeah. Ross and Script Distillery, which is MGP.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, very good. This next one is Sazerac Rye Full Proof.
Oh.
On the heels of releasing the 100 proof version of the regular Sazerac Rye, primarily for use in bars and restaurants, Buffalo Trace has now released an even higher proofed expression of the same juice.
Oh, that's gotta be good.
It's 125 proof.
Oh, man.
It's about 6 years aged. It's the Buffalo Trace Rye Mash, which could be 55 rye, 41.5 corn, 3.5 malted barley. Listen to these taste notes. Pie crust, molasses, creme brulee, marshmallow fluff, candied ginger, orange peel, anise, baking spices, gingerbread, cocoa, banana, meringue, brown sugar, pepper, espresso, leather, and charred peaches. $40.
Wow.
$40.
Wow.
Let me say it again. $40. We haven't had the 100 proof yet.
Yeah, we got to find this. We got to try them all together. Just keep trying Sazerac. Doesn't matter how many episodes we do. We already did it once, a month ago. We'll do it again. We'll do it again.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
We'll get the regular Sazerac again. And we'll do it against 100 and 125.
I love that. It'll be short. I love it.
Yeah.
A long short.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll call it Sazerac again. We don't care.
Sazerac, fuck it.
We can do whatever you want. Not to be confused with the Penelope fuck cancer.
That's right.
It's Sazerac, fuck it. We're going to keep doing Sazerac until they acknowledge us.
That's right. Okay, so the last trio of whiskeys, and then we get to what's coming up in the new year.
I feel like Wilderness Trail should have some coming out, Scott. It's been so long for them.
Well, as luck would have it, Ed. Stop looking at my screen. Wilderness Trail has 3 whiskeys coming out for the holidays, I guess. I think they did this. Kentucky Craft Distillery, Wilderness Trail, has unveiled 3 new whiskeys, all of which are permanent additions to their lineup. All 3 were made via sweet mash fermentation using the distillery's proprietary yeast strain and aged in number 4 alligator char barrels.
Ooh.
And all are 6-year single barrel expressions whose proofs vary between 105 and 120. So the first is a High-Rye bourbon, 64 corn, 24 rye, 12 malted barley, buttery with notes of dark chocolate, melted licorice candies, and burnt caramel, ending with an earthy, mushroomy note and more anise. That's $70.
Wow.
A wheated bourbon, that's 64 corn, 24 wheat, 12 malted barley, slick and sweet with notes of sesame, almond, and vanilla, ending with a pinch of fennel and dill. That's $70. And then the rye, which is 56 rye, 33 corn, 11 malted barley, syrupy with notes of blue raspberry, honey, caramel, and rye spice, ending with soft leather and slightly astringent citrus undertone. That's $80.
So I feel like we had a bad experience with.
I think we did.
I brought home, I think it was a bottle of Bond. I was excited about it.
Yeah.
And it just left me flat.
Yeah.
And that was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And we never went back to it.
Not really, no.
We never went back to it. We're like, you know what? There's too many fish in the sea.
Yeah.
You know, I'm out here fishing. You know? I'm fishing.
I'm out here fishing.
I'm
Nuclear fishing.
I can't remember his name.
What are you talking about?
I'm Brandon Fellows.
Oh, I'm Brian Fellows. I'm out here fishing.
Tracy Morgan. Oh, my God.
All right.
So that's great.
Yeah, those are the whiskeys that you can buy.
And once again, I want to compliment Scott on really doing a better job, though I think the industry's doing a better job, of getting us whiskeys we can buy.
Yes.
Only 3 of them was what I would consider, not even 3, 2 of them were like high.
Right. So except for 4 of the Lost Lanterns and the Barrel Dovetail, everything was 100 or less.
Yeah.
It's about 75%.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Scott's really giving us stuff that we can buy, and with the holidays, you know.
That's right. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, coming up in the new year,
Yes.
we're going to be slowing our roll a little bit.
A little bit.
For the first 2 months of the year, releasing about every other week. So on the 9th of January, we're going to release a quick taste of Toki Black Japanese whiskey.
Yep.
We were intrigued by that on one of our news episodes. We went out and bought it.
Sometimes we actually follow through.
Yeah, that's right. On the 23rd, we're going to do episode 90, Scotch cocktails.
Right.
See if we like them, right? Because there's a couple iconic Scotch cocktails that we have not done yet.
Right.
On the 6th of February, we're going to do the January-February news.
Correct.
And on the 20th, we're going to do episode 91, which will be D&D whiskeys.
It's D&D.
Tossing with the legends of lore.
It's D&D.
Never kiss a lady before. Stephen Lynch, look him up.
A little Stephen Lynch shout out there.
A little shout out. After that, in March, will be Whiskey Madness 2026.
Right, we're going to do a little different.
We're toying with doing a little bit different shake-up.
A little more exclusive. We're going to take one whiskey out of each bracket because it always loses, and then
right.
and give us a little bit less drinking in March because you know it gets a little bit much.
Right, just
and
slow a roll a little bit.
We'll slow the roll a bit. We're looking to start the year 2026, and you know our doctors have suggested that either we take the
mint,
either we take the clutch mint, or we slow our roll a bit.
That's right.
I now have a liver outside my body that I have to carry around with me in a briefcase.
A briefcase.
Yeah, you know, external hard drive. I have an external liver.
Oh, nice. I didn't know they had that now.
No. It's a prototype.
I got you.
Yeah.
You got no special list for
That's
that.
right. Oh, yeah.
He's like, I need that.
Yeah, it's just me. Just me.
Just you.
Yeah. Ozzy was using it, and then once he was done with it, it went.
Right, he's dead now.
It went from Lemmy the Motorhead to Ozzy, and then to me.
Wow. All right, that's all I got.
Listen, the New Year's going to be great, and the Madness is going to be great, like it always is. We're going to have great whiskeys in there.
It'll still be great. Don't worry.
Right, it's still not scaring anybody.
Nobody worry.
It's going to be awesome. As always, we're still going to have Gabe involved. We hope to have Anders involved.
Yes.
And then we will once again find the greatest whiskey of the year. The truth is, Scott drank too many whiskeys. I mean, we have to be honest. Instead of putting the whiskeys away, he drank them and finished them. And I did too. So that's really the problem. Instead of going out and manufacturing whiskeys that didn't have a tie to the podcast, We're just using the ones that survived that we put in the vault, and that's all that is.
Yeah, maybe we do need the mint.
Right. Maybe it's a maybe.
Maybe
so
we do.
it's more about keeping it authentic to why we have the tournament.
Yeah.
It's like a year in review. So whatever we did in 2025, we want that to be in the tournament.
Yeah, it'll still be 4 podcasts. We'll still have
it's still the same thing.
the preview, and
Everything's the same.
It'll be fine.
You're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
So for Whiskey Tangent Podcast, this is all the news that's fit to drink. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
Cheers, everybody, and Happy New Year.
Later.